how did I come over here to study and now you're sitting here rubbing on my thigh as we watch Black Panther? Like, make it make sense. You can use your imagination. You better use your imagination. So today I'm going to be talking about my first semester at Howard, and I'm going to talk about the good stuff and the bad stuff because, yeah, there's not a lot of bad stuff, but there are a few things that I wish I could change about Howard. I'm going to be talking about, like, academics, administration, like social life / friendships, relationships, all that type of stuff. And then organizations and the city itself and a few other things that I can't really think of like a title to put on it. But so like I'm not going to go into full detail as to why I chose to go to Howard because I already have a video on that. So if you want to watch it, it'll be like in the cards or whatever. One thing that I knew was going to be hard for me going to Howard was the actual size, because a little background, I'm from a super small public school, like 13 kids in my graduating class. And even though there were 13 kids in my class, the classes that I took only had about like 4 kids in them, maybe 5. So yeah, I'm pretty used to small groups or whatever. So, you know, going to Howard, my first day of classes, the smallest class I had was literally like 35 people. It was very overwhelming. And then my largest English? Okay, my largest class had like 140. So there was a ton of kids, and it just kind of intimidated me because I'm the type of person where I don't mind participating in class and being active or whatever, but being surrounded by a bunch of people I didn't know, it was super overwhelming because here I'm at Howard and my freshman class is literally like, what, 1,200, 1,300 people? And the population of my town is barely over 1,000. That's pretty crazy that a freshman class has more people in it than my hometown. Anyway, in terms of academics, I thought college was going to be hard. Well, I don't want to jinx myself, but right now it's not hard because in high school I took AP courses, dual enrollment courses, and I got good grades, well, great grades for those. And in college, I still maintained A's in all my courses, except for one, but we'll get into that because I had to withdraw. The last thing about academics I'm going to talk about is like studying and just keeping your grades up or whatever. Me personally, I made like a promise to myself that my mental health was going to be put first. Everything else is second, like even education. You really need to take care of yourself. So that was like my main focus. I personally don't study for more than an hour because I feel like after a while, I'm not going to be retaining it because I know me, I get distracted after sitting in one space for a really, really long time. So I make sure when I study, read over my notes. I read like a Quizlet page that I printed out or whatever. And I just make sure that I make little examples for everything. So instead of repetition, which I feel like doesn't work, or it does work, but only for like one test and you forgot all the information, it's better to like make little examples for various different things. You know, like in psychology, for instance, there's something called the Big Five, and an acronym is OCEAN, which talks about openness, consciousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and I'm gonna have to go back to that last one, but yeah, basically, you know, you just make little examples to go with each thing. Like for openness, I would be like, oh, I'm a pretty open person, you know, I'm open to new things, I'm open to doing things for people, you know, stuff like that. And when I saw it on the test and I saw Big Five, I automatically thought ocean and then my various examples. So I just feel like when you can like personally identify with whatever you're studying, it helps you actually retain it more because it's like, it's something that you can remember and think about, and it's not some scientific stuff that's super hard to remember or whatever. But yeah, so basically there was one class I wasn't doing well in. It was PreCalc. I couldn't understand why I was even in the class, but it was like Howard, as a freshman, they pick all your classes. So first day of classes, I see PreCalc and I was like, oh, I guess like I have to take it. Even though I took 2 dual enrollment courses, I was like, maybe the credits didn't transfer, whatever. So I'm sitting in this class and the teacher, he just was not good at giving you the proper information. Like, he would write a whole equation on the board, put the wrong answer, and someone would correct him and be like, oh, you're right, changes the answer. And it's like, no, sir, like, you need to redo the entire thing because all the work is wrong, and so is the answer. You can't just put the right answer and have the wrong work, you know? But yeah, so I took the first and only test in that class, and I got a 53, and I was like, this is a dub. Like, I'm not about to sit here and tank my GPA for a class that I don't even need. Like, I did this in 11th grade. Why am I here? So I went to Carnegie. It holds the Office of Undergraduate Studies inside of it. I don't know if that's for like all schools, but I know for COAS, you go to Carnegie or whatever for your advisors. So I went to Carnegie and I spoke to the director. He was super nice. Like, technically, I went there like 8:30 in the morning, and on that specific day, they don't open until 1 p.m. But he still let me come in anyway and like talk to him about what was going on. So that was really nice, and I really appreciated that. I told him my dilemma, how like I was not doing well in this pre-calc course, and I wasn't trying to let it ruin my GPA because it's literally my first semester as a freshman. If I start off and have like a trash GPA, there's no going up from there. So I was like, honestly, I need to just withdraw from this course. And I explained about the credits, how I don't understand why I'm even in it, because I know for a fact, like, I got an A and a B, and the B almost was an A. I had an 89 for calculus. So it's like, how did my credits not transfer? You feel me? So he, you know, goes on his computer, types in all my information, and when I tell you, it said math requirement completed. And he was like, yeah, why are you in this class? So I was like, sir, I'm asking you. But yeah, so he was like, yeah, don't even worry about it. Like, we're going to get you out of this course. All you have to do is bring this paper to like your advisor. He's going to sign off. You sign off, and then boom, that'll be it. You're done with the course. The main reason I needed to drop the course, not only because of what I just said, but also because the midterm was coming up, and it's like, I don't want to take a midterm for a course that I don't even plan on finishing. Like, that's a waste of my time. So we got that settled, so I was very thankful for that. But yeah, that's another thing. Like, people at Howard that like work there are a few people that are very willing to like really try to help you. Like, I forgot his name, but I know the other advisor that helped me out to like find a replacement course or whatever. I ended up not getting a replacement course, but we still like worked everything out so I could drop math, made sure I was able to keep my scholarship or whatever. And yeah, his name was Usher Moses. Super great guy. If you need an advisor, honestly, ask for him or just make an appointment with him because he's the best. I said all that to say, basically, if you know or you feel like something's going to be a problem when you go to Howard, you need to like write that down and make sure that you stay on top of it. Now, for me, I kind of had a feeling that my credits were going to be an issue for me, so I should have been on top of that. Like, I could have been more on top of that, but also it's like, it's y'all job, knowing that we're not allowed to pick our classes, to make sure I'm put in the right course. So yeah, but basically just like stay on your P's and Q's when it comes to Howard, because yeah, it's their job to make sure that they do what they're supposed to do, but I mean, like, you got to stay on top of that if you want to make sure things are done properly. So yeah, but enough with that. On to organizations and stuff. I personally am not in a organization right now because, like I said, I want to focus on school or whatever and just like getting accustomed to the area. But I do know that there's like a few different types of orgs or whatever. Well, for freshman orgs in general, they have the ones that are in the fall, and then they have ones that are in the spring semester. If you wanted to join Ladies of the Quad, that process is in the fall semester. So like, you would probably do the application sometime in, I don't know, October, and then you would hear back before the semester ends or whatever. If you wanted to be a part of Jules, which is another sisterhood organization, you would have to wait until the spring semester to like apply and all that jazz. If you find something that you're interested in, you just need to make sure that you stay on top of it and like make sure you don't miss any deadlines, make sure you go to the events that they host to let you learn more about what they do and stuff, and just be involved as much as you can before it's time for you to actually like get into the group. You just have to really like think about what you like, what interests you, what you don't mind spending time doing, because obviously you're going to actually have to go out and do things for the organization. You don't just write your name on a slip and be like, okay, I'm in an org, and then don't do anything for the whole semester, you know? So it's just like, make sure what you're doing is what you want to do. And yeah, now on to social life. At Howard, it's pretty easy to like make friends and stuff. Everybody was like trying to meet new people because nobody knew anyone. And the upperclassmen were super nice in person. Online, they can get a little feisty on Twitter and stuff. Not to me, but like I see it on the timeline. I'm just like, damn, was it that serious? So basically, like, you can just literally be walking up the hill or whatever, and you could be like, oh, I like your skirt. And she'll be like, oh my God, thanks girl, I got it from blah, blah, blah. And then boom, y'all have a full conversation, and now you know somebody else on campus. Like, it's really that simple. I met my friend Tiana, the one that I'm always with, in this group chat that we had. It was called HU You Know, before we actually got to Howard. And then on Bison Prep, I actually met her like in person that day, and we just hit it off. And then when we got back to Howard for move-in day, whatever, we started hanging out more, and now I can't live without her. At Howard, you're bound to make friends. It's just kind of up to you to get out of your comfort zone and like talk to people, because people can talk to you as much as they want, but if you're not gonna talk back or, you know, really contribute to the conversation and try to keep it going and try to hang out with them, it's like you're gonna be lonely, you know? So it's more of like everyone has to put effort if they want friends. One thing I wanted to talk about was stealing. People love stealing at Howard. Whether it's, you know, people that rob you off of Georgia Ave, people that rob you in your own dorm, you know. Yeah, I got my pants stolen. I saw the girl wearing my pants in Annex Cafe, but you know, that's a story for another day. Basically, you need to lock your dorm rooms. Like, this is not a joke. People will literally go in your room and take your shit. Like, actually. I was in the group me literally yesterday, and this girl was saying how her MacBook and her roommate's MacBook got stolen. Mind you, this was the day before everyone was supposed to leave Howard for break. Why are you stealing? Why are you stealing? People really just don't care, and they have no regard. So if you don't want your stuff stolen, you need to like get a trunk with a lock, you know, literally lock your stuff up. I'm probably gonna get a lock or find something to lock my closet, because it's like, if somebody went in my room and took a pair of my pants, like, what else are they gonna take, you know? For me, it was, normally our door was locked, but my roommate, she accidentally left her key at home during Thanksgiving break. So she would ask me to, like, you know, not lock the door, because she would have to pay a $75 lockout fee to get a new key. And that's a hefty price, I understand. But now my pants got stolen. So yeah, it's just like, it really shows the importance of keeping your door locked and keeping your stuff locked, because you never know who's creeping and trying to steal stuff. So now that that's out of the way, in terms of like relationships at Howard, I feel like it's either you win or you lose, you know? Because a lot of guys, they found out about the whole, you could have a girl in Annex and a girl in CHN and they wouldn't know about it. So then they actually started doing it, and it's like, bruh, you're supposed to break the cycle, not continue it. Some boys are so bold. When I tell you, they will talk to 2 girls on the same floor in the same building. Boy, like, my mind is blown, because it's just like, you really got to be savage to do that. Honestly, like, you just got to be careful about who you talk to. If somebody's giving you bad vibes from the jump, you probably shouldn't continue to get involved with them, because you're probably going to get your heart broke, and then you're going to be one of the girls that stays in their dorm, you know, crying all day, and your friends are like, not to say I told you so, but I told you so, and you just cry some more. Like, don't be that person. Like, really just boss up on these dudes or whatever. Don't give them your time if you know they're crusty. Like, if you know they're going to do you dirty, why would you even give them a chance to do that? I've had my share of experiences with guys at Howard or whatever. Most of them have been pleasant. Yeah, I'll say like 90% of them have been pleasant, and then there was like a 10%. It was not good. Oh, I have a little story. I was in the study group or whatever, because we had a test in like a few days or whatever, and there's this guy. So this guy texts me asking if I can give him the notes from a different study session that he wasn't able to go to. And I was like, sure, you know, I'm being a good citizen. Of course I'll give you some notes. And then he was like, oh, this is a lot of stuff. Like, we should go over this tonight. Like, are you free? Red flag number 1. I was like, yeah, like, I'm free after I, you know, go to Blackburn for this event or whatever. He hits me up. He was like, oh, you're probably tired of libraries. Like, do you want to come to Towers? Red flag number 2. Me being, like, dumb, I thought we were generally gonna, like, you know, study. So I was like, yeah, sure, like, I'll go to Towers, whatever. So, boom. He meets me at McDonald's. We walk to Towers, checks me in, blah, blah, blah. We go to his room. We actually, like, legit study for a good hour and a half. And then he was like, we should take a break. And I was like, yeah, like, my brain is fried. So he was like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, we can play Uno. Because I always bring my Uno cards everywhere. So I whipped out the Uno cards. We played, like, 7 rounds legit by ourselves. Like, 2 people playing Uno. So after we got bored of Uno, he was like, do you want to watch a movie? Red flag number 3! I was like, sure. So we go on Netflix and I see Black Panther, because this is when they literally just put it on. And I was like, oh my god, we have to watch Black Panther. Like, even though I've already seen it twice, like, I'm trying to see it a 3rd time. I don't care. I'm not watching anything else except Black Panther. So boom. It didn't work, so we ended up going to 1, 2, 3 movies or whatever, blah, blah, blah. He turns on the movie. He was like, do you mind if I turn off the light? And I was like, no, sure, like, go ahead. He turns off the light. I'm sitting on his bed. He's laying down at this point. He was like, oh, you can lay down if you want. So I was like, okay. I'm laying down like this, like, literally like this. Literally like this. I was not playing no games. I wasn't trying to do anything. And then after he realized, like, I really was not about to turn around and do no shit, he was like, oh, actually, I can't see. So, like, you're going to have to get up. And I was like... So I got up or whatever, and then this man starts rubbing on my thigh, like, for 20 minutes straight. How did I come over here to study and now you're sitting here rubbing on my thigh as we watch Black Panther? Like, make it make sense. Moral of the story is, you just need to know that most of the time, if a guy invites you to their room, they're probably trying to do something. So if you're not trying to do anything, just don't go to the room. I should have went to the library. There's nothing I can do now. So yeah. Sports. So unfortunately, Howard seems to have every single sport except for field hockey. Like, the one thing I actually like doing, they don't offer. I was and still am pressed, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, so they have tennis, lacrosse, basketball, football, swimming, track and field. They literally have a soccer. They have a ton of stuff. So if you don't play field hockey, they probably have your sport, so you should join. Tying into the sports would be like the different events or whatever. There's so many events that events that go on campus that you could go to. So there's always like a football game or a basketball. Like, there's literally something going on. Oh, I forgot volleyball. I went to a lot of volleyball games this semester. Oh, wow. I don't know how I forgot this, but in, like, academically, I really liked my courses because I felt like I actually learned, you know? Like, in African studies, I've literally learned more the first week of me having that class than I ever learned in high school. Like, that's ridiculous. There was so much that I had no idea even happened, and I would have never known if I never, you know, was in that course. It really opens your perspective on life and us as Black people and what we've gone through literally since the beginning of time. Not only here in the US, but just like the African diaspora in general, you know? And there's so many opportunities at Howard. Like, I'm going to be going to Egypt this semester. Well, this upcoming semester anyway, with the African Studies class. And it's like, me, I've never been out of the country before. So to be able to travel to Egypt, and I don't even think you have to pay for it. I think the school pays for it. Hopefully. I'm rambling, but there's so many opportunities that Howard offers. You just have to ask your teachers if you can be included in it, or just do some research and find out what they offer so you can, you know, get your name on that list or whatever you have to do. I've been talking so much. Like, this video is literally like 20 something minutes. So I'm just gonna stop. Thank you for watching, and I hope you got some insight about Howard, or maybe you just wanted to know what my experience was like. And whatever your reasoning is for watching this video, thank you, and yeah, bye.